He talking about T Grizzly accused of impregnating and murdering his aunt. Y'all know we gotta see what this about, man. We gotta. Hopefully it ain't a too long video, but you know, we finna see what he talking about, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. It's Aries 10K. Let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let's go.
The accusations that T Grizzly impregnated his own aunt and then ordered for her to be murdered.
That's just crazy. Ain't no way.
It went from a mere conspiracy to now it's a theory that's being explored in court. This goes without saying, but I'm not accusing T Grizzly of doing anything. I'm simply laying out the facts and laying out why T Grizzly is currently trending and why people is accusing T Grizzly of impregnating and murdering his aunt. After you hear all the information, it's up to you guys to make up your mind. With that,
bro, I just want to skip over the impregnating part because I refuse to believe that. But yeah, we're going to try to focus more on the murdering than the impregnating. Because ain't no way a nigga out here hitting his own aunt. It just ain't no way, gang. No, I refuse.
Being said, let's get started. The murder of T Grizzly's aunt / manager, Jobina Brown, has always been sketchy, has always been suspicious, never made sense at all.
The search continues.
Wonder how long ago did she pass?
Killed the manager and aunt of Detroit rapper T Grizzly. 41-year-old Jobina Brown was shot in the area of 3 Mile Drive and Mack Avenue on the city's east side Tuesday night. Now, this is an update to a story that we brought you Wednesday morning. TMZ is reporting
I got anybody from Detroit in here coming down below.
The suspect approached and started shooting, and she was rushed to the hospital where she later died. It is not clear if T Grizzly was the intended target of the attack. The rapper and his driver
couldn't get him, so they got the aunt.
This isn't a situation where hindsight is 50-50 and people is looking back like, that sounded sketchy, or I didn't spot these red flags before. No. From day one, anyone who heard this story, even from the mouth of T Grizzly, who was present, they've always had more questions than answered. Because T Grizzly will be pretty candid about what took place that night. He wasn't shy. He told the full story to a lot of people and a lot of platforms, even made a song about it. And every time T Grizzly told the story,
going back
people
around
was
now.
like, that don't make sense. Especially people in the streets. Like us civilians, like we can have our opinions, but people in the streets, when they heard what happened, they're like, yeah, that's not how the streets go. Like that's like that don't make sense.
So the night everything happened, man, can you kind of go over that night with us? I know y'all was at the studio. I seen you on your Instagram, on your Instagram.
Yeah, so we was at the studio with Guapo and Jay Swan or whatever. And I'm going over my cousin's house, my older cousin. He was real close with my pops, just like my pops' brother. And I always try to, you know what I'm saying, show him some love because that's another wound we really ain't healed from.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I went over there and I was telling her, like, come in the house. And she like, no, I don't want to go in. I'm begging her to come in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain areas, you just can't, you just got to move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about where you at. I could go anywhere I want to.
Right.
But I got to move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm moving right, can't nothing happen to me. So I'm telling her to come in the house. She like, no. Because JB was kind of like funny acting about dirty houses.
Okay.
And stuff like that. The house wasn't even dirty, but to her, she just a clean, real clean person. Okay. It's like, no, I don't want to go in them people's house. I don't want to sit on their furniture and all that stuff in there.
This one is not too much of a red flag for me, but a lot of people thought, come on, bruh. She chose to wait in the car at night.
Don't want to go on people's house because she think it's dirty.
And, like, this is your family house, too? This don't really sound too right. But, yo, I never lived in Detroit. I never lived in Chicago. I never lived in places that could be the murder capital. So I don't know, all right? Like, I don't know. Maybe it is a routine thing to wait in the car at night in those areas while people go to the car. Maybe not everybody is as scared or terrified as people like me.
I'm like, all right, I'll be right back. So I'm knocking on the door. My people's taking so long to come to the door. You know what I'm saying? And they finally come to the door. As soon as I see her, as soon as I see my auntie, she about to open the door. I hear a whole bunch of shots going off. You know what I'm saying? Behind me. I hear a whole bunch of shots going off. So I get down because I'm thinking they about to come to the side and start, you know what I'm saying, shooting at me, and I ain't got nothing on me at the time. My cousin ran out with a gun. I'm like, perfect. So we ran out on the street. When we ran out, my driver was gone with no cars out there. I'm like,
She was in the. So what was the vehicle? She was in the car, like
yeah, she was
driveway on the street.
She was in the car.
Okay.
She was in the car on the street. So my cousin ran out with the gun or whatever, and we ran out in the front to see what's going on and to. If somebody up on us, we gonna get them off us.
The court trial for his aunt murder actually started today, but we will.
Damn, so what them niggas do? They said we finna drive over here, and if we don't see who we want, goddamn, we gonna hit the closest person we see. That's what it sound like to me. These damn YNs, boy. That's why I stay in the house. Niggas is tripping.
Who's being charged with the murder, and how even that looks horrible for T Grizzley. But at trial today, a YouTuber, The Family, he actually watched the trial, right? He actually watched it through.
Shout out The Family, man.
But the trial was being filmed. And when he watched the trial, T Grizzley's other aunt, whose house he was at, she testified. And she actually testified that the story they told the police, well, T Grizzley told the police, he didn't see who did it. He didn't snitch, but he did say, listen, when the shots ran off, shocked, ran to the window to see what's going on. We ain't know what was going on. We were shocked. The aunt actually said, like, cut the malarkey. No, I didn't see T Grizzley run to no window appearing shocked.
Question was asked by the state, does she remember the aunt mentioning that when T Grizzley heard the shots inside the home, he ran to the window to see what was going on? The aunt responded, no, she didn't say that.
So once we got outside, once we got in the front where they was at, my driver gone. There's no cars out here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wait. Let me ask you. So, was you had to enter to the back door or something?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. Side door. Okay. I get you. Okay.
But basically, I don't even know what's going on at this point.
Okay.
So we in the front. We looking. I look in the street. I don't see no glass in the street. So I'm like, oh, they straight. You know what I'm saying? That's probably some. I didn't even think this had nothing to do with us.
Okay.
You feel me?
Right.
But my cousin still came out there with a gun though.
Mm-hmm.
So I was cool with going out there. I'm like, I ain't see no glass in the street. I'm thinking they heard some shots and pulled off.
Okay.
So now I'm mad now. Like, y'all heard them shots, why would y'all leave me over here?
Right.
You feel me? You could at least call me and told me, like, it's too much going on over here. Come on, we gone. You know what I'm saying? That my driver ended up calling me, like, and told me what happened. So basically what happened, they walked up to my door and opened my door.
Yeah, they should have said, this ain't the time to be coming over here right now.
Trying to get at me.
Some crazy shit going
Ended up
on.
hitting her up. But, like, niggas was coming for me because they opened my door.
Okay.
And was shooting in the car. They hit her 8 times, though.
Damn.
And you have no idea where this came from?
No, I ain't got no idea where it came from, but it ain't even matter where it came from. Who I felt like everybody was a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like everybody was a suspect. So even if
it's at this particular point the story breaks down for
damn,
me.
so they opened the door. They ain't see him, so they shot her.
Close enough to where they were able to get
they
to the
probably
crib
it was gonna be his
or get
girl
to the
or some
vehicle
shit.
while T Grizzley was still at the door. Then wouldn't they just be able to see where T Grizzley went and follow him? But besides that, let's just say T Grizzley was at the door long enough to where, you know, they were able to catch up to the vehicle. Cool. They was obviously looking for someone. T Grizzley is saying they were looking for me. It wasn't a situation where they were going into this looking to kill everybody in the vehicle. They was looking for someone. And that's why they went to the vehicle, opened up the vehicle, looked to see who's in the vehicle, and began shooting that person on that side.
They should have left that lady alone, man.
Hit and he was the only other person in the vehicle, but that's why he wasn't hit. All the bullets went to the person on the side of the vehicle they open up. But in that case, if they open up the car door, wouldn't they be able to see, oh, it's not T Grizzley, and close it back up? Because they obviously wasn't concerned with killing just anybody, because the driver was never hit and he was never killed and he was a witness, and they let the witness live. So if that's the case, wouldn't they just have like just moved on, or just try to find T Grizzley and leave the auntie be if the auntie wasn't a target? To me, that shows the auntie was the target the whole time. If they opened up that car vehicle, seen her, and still shot and killed her, she was.
But if they knowing that's his auntie though, that's the thing. Because they couldn't have thought it was him. My guess is, but I don't know. So why they ain't, like he said, why didn't they hit the driver too if they just shooting anybody?
She was the target, and I don't think T Grizzley was the target. But who would want to kill the aunt or T Grizzly. Like the best guess here is T Grizzly's ops. T Grizzly ops. People who hate T Grizzly. People who T Grizzly have been beefing with for a while now. So that's why the next development in this story doesn't make sense and is awfully suspicious. T Grizzly is really close friends with Buka 600. Buka 600 is a Chicago drill rapper. They're so close that Buka was a groomsman in T Grizzly's wedding. And the wedding took place last year. The aunt's murder took place 5 years ago. Now, Buka 600 has an associate from Chicago called Wu Thing. Now, Wu Thing is from the same squad, the same clique as Buka 600. They're very close associates. Now, Wu Thing was ultimately arrested and charged with the murder of T Grizzly's aunt. Even after he was arrested, the police made it perfectly clear they don't believe he was acting alone. They don't believe he committed this murder alone. They don't believe he's the only accomplice. And their actions after they arrested him made it perfectly clear. But how was he arrested?
So trying to make it seem like an inside job.
He was called because, quite frankly, Wu Thing is the dumbest, stupidest criminal you will ever hear about. This man was still in the murder getaway vehicle that was stolen, by the way, and he still had the murder weapon on him. Again, stupidity is an understatement here, people.
State and the feds. October 19, 2019, just 2 months after JB lost her life, Wu Thing was arrested in Chicago, Illinois. It was around 12:06 p.m. when officers from Chicago Police Department were on a routine patrol when they responded to another officer report of a male and one female sitting inside of a stolen vehicle parked in the alley behind 5920 South Calumet Avenue in Chicago, Illinois. The reporting officer had confirmed that the vehicle was stolen by checking the vehicle license plate in the law enforcement computer database. When responding to CPD, officers pulled into the alley. They observed the male subsequently identified as Wu Thing, aka Jermaine Whedon, and a female standing near the stolen vehicle, a blue Nissan Versa with New York license plate. Now keep that vehicle in mind. As the responding officers exited the patrol car and approached Wu Thing, he fled from officers on foot. After a brief foot chase, the officers apprehended Wu Thing and placed him in handcuffs. As Wu Thing physically resisted the officers when placed against the police car, a Glock 23 40 cal semi-automatic handgun, bearing serial number PAZ-363, fell out of Wu Thing's left pants leg. The handgun was loaded with 12 rounds of ammunition with the head stamp marking SIG 40 S&W. During the subsequent search of the stolen blue Nissan, CPD officers recovered an extended magazine from the passenger side door. Now fam, would you believe this man had the same firearm and same stolen vehicle during the night that JB lost her life? Well, it's true. When it came to the rental, the car was a Hertz rental car.
Still
had set to be returned to Hertz on August 24th, 2019.
They don't believe in throwaways. They goddamn, they keep that
in September 2019. The following year,
they keep
February
the same damn gun.
DPD received notification from the MSP
so you know
where they test the firearm.
They don't care about getting
They confirmed that firearm that Wu Thing was caught with in Chicago was the same firearm used to take the life of JB. May she rest in peace.
I have a deep dive coming up on this very shortly where I'm doing a deep dive on the case, how they called Jermaine, why they called Jermaine, what other proof they got for Jermaine, and the entire murder case surrounding the aunt, including other suspects, etc., etc. In this video, I'm just speed running the accusations against T Grizzly. Now, I don't care what y'all say. I'm not indicting T Grizzly. I'm just telling you guys exactly why T Grizzly is currently trending, and y'all could believe it after I lay out what's going on. I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm simply laying out the facts of what's going on. But what I would say, bro, is this. I don't care what y'all say.
Wu Thing and the same thing as Buka, so they trying to say he got something to do with it. An associate
of Buka 600, who is also my close friend. If this Wu Thing dude is my close associate, he's from Chicago. I'm from Detroit. What beef do he got with my aunt? Or what beef do he got with me?
So what are you even doing all the way out there is the question for real.
To still be hanging out with associates of the dude who killed your aunt. Wu Thing and Buka 600 is inseparable. They're from the same clique. He killed
That's where
your
the question
aunt
come in.
while he was looking for you, apparently, but you still hang out. He's still the groomsman to your wedding. He's still your best friend. It doesn't make sense whatsoever. I don't think it makes sense. As a matter of fact, I think it's
best friend affiliate.
Loyal. And if T Grizzly is not involved, he's an idiot. Why would you hang out with the same clique who's responsible for the murder of your aunt? and you claim they were looking to murder you, but yet you're still friends with Buka, who's an OG from that clique. It doesn't make sense to me at all. I think it's flawed here, people. Now, let's move on. So, but what's the motivation? Why would Wu-Thing want to murder T Grizzly's aunt? Why?
That's what we got to find out.
Here? Why would T Grizzly want to murder his aunt? Well, in court today, a close source to the family was actually in court. And the state actually threw out that they believe that T Grizzly impregnated the aunt, that the aunt was pregnant at the time for T Grizzly's baby.
Ain't no way. I refuse to
and many more.
Part.
But I was able to catch it today, although the audio wasn't allowed while looking. You can only screen record if the audio picks up from another device. And I didn't know that today. But I took some key notes. And the house that T Grizzly allegedly stopped at the day JB lost her life to go inside. Remember we said that was his aunt's house? Another aunt? But she took the stand today. And to sum up 8 hours for you guys in 60 seconds, I say this. That rumor that's floating around that T Grizzly got his alleged aunt pregnant, the state believes that. Not the family TV, not Reddit, the state.
Come to find out, T Grizzly and his aunt/manager isn't blood related. So if T Grizzly isn't pregnant, it feels like the situation got messy. But what's the official theory? What's the official conspiracy? You heard a lot of bits and pieces. Well, here is the full theory laid out, and exactly why people believe that T Grizzly hired the help of his friend Wu-Thing, who was close with his best friend Buka 600, and they conspired on his fake to murder the aunt. Here is why people.
That's just crazy.
Here's the theory people believe explains.
Is his auntie his manager and made her make and fake label and signed himself to the fake label, so all his music would be under JB name. But by the time T Grizzly got rich and paid off all his debts, he was ready to put all his music back in his name. But JB was refusing to sign the papers to give T his music back.
Damn.
So T would pay 600 buka to have someone from his side to kill JB. So on August 20th,
so she owned everything.
T and JB would both link up, and when T would get out and walk in the house, 600, Wu-Tang would pull up and shoot JB 8 times as T was walking in the house.
I feel like I'm at least obligated to say.
I ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all gotta let me know down below what y'all think.
He did it as well, because how do these people know what was in T Grizzly's contract, right? Like how do they know, all his music was in this lady's name? Like T Grizzly signed a record deal, so wouldn't the music be in the label's name and not?
Yeah, ain't no. Y'all gotta comment down below and let me know what y'all think about that situation, man. Find out all his music was in her name, then he got out. You feel me? He's still blowing up. He want his shit back, of course. He want everything back, 100% him. She don't want to give it back. Y'all gotta let me know what y'all think, man. You feel me? Comment down below. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram at Aries10K, man. I'm gonna see y'all next one. Let's get it.